How you feeling?
Nervous, bro.
Huge day in the pro football world. We are about to deliver announcements to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 13 members will be announced today.
All right, I'm in my kitchen, and January 2020, this is where I got the news that I wasn't selected in the Centennial class in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And I was sitting right here when I got that news.
Congratulations to all of the inductees. It was really a true honor and pleasure to make those announcements. It was really a true honor and pleasure to make those announcements.
Didn't get it.
And we're not done. Your special guest including Al Tadley, special guest
Oh my God. Even that doesn't happen the way you want it, you still got to keep going on. It's been the story of my life.
You gonna be a football player when you grow up?
Today is the best day of your life. Believe
Give me 8 years of daylight. That's all.
Greatest leader I've ever known.
What a ride it's been!
And let my people say, hut, hut!
My husband is a Philadelphia Eagles fan, right? And so it was in
we
Philly.
tolerate that.
He's a good guy, right? He's been around long enough.
Yeah, we tolerate his bad choices.
You know, 21 years now, almost.
All right.
So Lance said, well, you know, since you're in Philly, if you throw out all the Super Bowls, and they're going to lose it. And Dad was like, and just went there.
To announce the Dallas Cowboys selection, please welcome the University of Tulsa wide receiver, Drew Pearson.
The commissioner says, man, they're really out there. He said, are you ready for this? I said, Commissioner, I'm used to being booed in Philly. I said, if it wasn't for the Philadelphia Eagles, I wouldn't even had a career in the NFL. He said, say that, say that. I said, really? He said, yeah, say that. How about them Cowboys? I want to thank the Eagle fans for allowing me to have a career in the NFL. Thank you. And on behalf of the 5-time world champion Dallas Cowboys, Hall of Fame owner Jerry Jones, Dean Jones and the Jones family, Coach Jason Garrett, all the Cowboy players that played before me, that played with me, and played after me. With the second pick and the 60th pick in the second round, the Dallas Cowboys select defensive back from Colorado, Chidobe Awuzie.
That is an all-time great pick announcement. Drew Pearson soaking in the hate.
No one can meet a moment quite like Drew Pearson. He was a skinny kid from New Jersey who could tuck his number into his pants. Yet no one loomed larger when it mattered most. Nicknamed Mr. Clutch, Pearson time and again delivered victory from desperation.
Big game experience. Drew Pearson, the clutch guy, making the catch. What a comeback.
His most famous catch came when winning was so improbable that it was named after a prayer.
Pearson makes the catch at the 5, touchdown! Pearson goes in for the touchdown, and the Cowboys score!
He was undrafted, unlikely to even make it in the NFL. Yet Pearson became the marquee receiver for pro football's glamour franchise. As much as the star on the helmet and the hole in the roof, America's team was Drew Pearson, flying down the field.
In Texas, there's a bird called a blue martin, and blue martins are really quick, and they love to eat mosquitoes. And they go full speed, and then they can turn left, going full speed without sliding or anything, and then get that mosquito. That's the way Drew ran his routes. He didn't slow down on the break. And if you ever needed it on 3rd and 7, go to Mr. Clutch.
You know, people talk about the Hail Mary and all these other clutch catches. The greatest catches to me are those 3rd and longs. Catching the tough passes, going into that zone where nobody wanted to go.
I think Drew was as tough mentally and physically as they've ever come.
Andy White. Drew Pearson in a sandwich. I'll tell you, that's what has made Drew Pearson a great receiver in this league for 11 years. Pearson goes in there, 4 guys around him, taking that ball right out of the air. A lot of guys who won't even go in there.
Pearson's time in Dallas was full of uncommon toughness and unbelievable finishes.
Those are my actual footprints. This is how my feet were planted when I caught the ball.
His career ended unthinkably, and for decades it was underappreciated. For all his accomplishments, it took Pearson until 2021, 38 years after his final season, to make it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It was 1 year after his painful wait famously became a public one.
Can't catch no more damn passes. Can't run no more routes. It's there.
Pearson ran his first routes in tiny South River, New Jersey, catching passes from another future NFL star.
I went to high school with Joe Theismann. My sophomore year, you know, I'm starting on the varsity at wide receiver, and Joey, of course, was a quarterback. We're playing my first varsity game. You know, they called me on a deep route, and I just kept running. He was scrambling to his left, and he threw that ball on the run, and he threw it 60 yards, a perfect spiral, and I'm sitting there waiting for it to come down. And that was my first touchdown.
His gait was different than any other wide receiver. You know, you see fast guys today, you know they're fast. You watch Drew run, and it's like watching a graceful antelope.
He was not a big kid, but he was a very bright kid. He knew how to read defenses. He knew how to pick seams, and he wasn't afraid to go over the middle, like a lot of receivers.
Every high school game I played, I had to go downtown to the 5 and dime store and buy some brand new white shoelaces and brand new white socks. I had to have my shoes right and had to look right, you know, even back then.
All you need to do is look from the knees down to figure out who was who on our football team. He was outstanding, but he wanted to make sure he stood out as well.
After Theismann graduated, Pearson filled his shoes at quarterback.
I liked being in the middle. I liked being the focus. I liked all that attention.
After about the first or second game, you couldn't have gotten him out of the quarterback position because his skills were just immeasurable. He was recruited as a quarterback.
I chose Tulsa University. I knew that if I was going to play pro football, I wasn't going to be a pro football quarterback. I still wasn't that big. I wasn't strong. And so I moved to wide receiver going into my junior year. I could catch. I catch everything. But when the draft came, nobody thought I was good enough to be drafted. And that was a big, big disappointment. Shortly after that, the Cowboys called. They wanted to sign me right then and there.
Coming up, from undrafted rookie free agent to the birth of Mr. Clutch.
Yeah, well, you need to get it right.
Yeah.
This gotta look good.
It's gonna look good. It's good.
You know, this ain't no lineman going up there. Yeah, we're here today getting measured up for my gold jacket. So we're taking these measurements and we're going to send them back off to the Hall of Fame to make sure it's a perfect fit. I like to look good, and I've got a lot of that sense of fashion and stuff from my dad. My dad always wore a suit and tie. You know, he worked loading containers, but when he went to work, he wore a suit and tie. As long as I look good, that's all that matters.
You're a little young because you wouldn't remember those Superfly days. He wanted to be sharp.
Drew
was a looker. At least he thought he was, and tried to dress like one. His uniform had to be meticulous. His socks had to be, at the same height. He didn't have any calves, so he had a hard time holding his socks up. I can see him pulling those socks up after just about every play because he wanted to look good.
For the style-savvy Drew Pearson, his best look was wearing the number 88 Cowboys jersey he made iconic.
And so now people say, you the original 88, man. I know Michael Irvin and this, but you the original 88. And the Cowboys kind of picked up on that, and now they treat that number more special than any number in Dallas Cowboys football history.
Yeah.
And it's always saved for the next one that's worthy of wearing that number and keeping the tradition going. But I am not the original 88 for the Dallas Cowboys. They had a guy wearing number 88 the year before I got there, Ron Sellers.
When Pearson arrived in Dallas in 1973, he didn't care what number he wore. As an undrafted rookie, his sole focus was beating long odds to make the team.
So the first mini camp was an all-rookie camp. And at the end of that rookie camp, out of 100 guys, there's 50 of us left. And most of those guys cut themselves. Coach Landry tried to make it as tough and rigorous as possible. So I made it through that, and then here come the veterans.
Let's go move quick now. Move quick, offense. Move quick. Everybody's moving.
Man, they popping in and out of huddle. They know their plays. They know the adjustments. And all now you really feel lost.
You've got to make as much yardage as you can before you're knocked out of bounds, see? I mean, when I catch the ball, I go to that sideline, somebody's going to hit me, and I step out.
When he came in as a rookie, I'm thinking, there's another rookie. So all of a sudden, I'm running around saying, hey, run this sideline route, Drew, run a post. Right away, when we're just running routes. I recognize that there's something special here. He was really a heck of an athlete.
Roger, he went to Gil Brandt. And he said, Gil, this guy is showing his work ethic is great. He's catching everything out here. He looks like he's got a chance to make this football team.
After a strong preseason and the endorsement of star quarterback Roger Staubach, Drew Pearson completed his first Hail Mary in the NFL.
Harvey Martin calls. He said, Drew, they're getting ready to announce the rookies that made the team on Channel 5. I turn on the TV, and they call them out. And they said Martin, and then they called me after that, and man, I let it out. The whole apartment complex should have known something was happening because I was so excited. And I had to overcome those odds and made the team.
With Ron Sellers traded to the Dolphins before the season, Pearson donned the digits he'd make extraordinary. He was used sparingly most of his rookie year, but in the last regular season game, he caught his first 2 NFL touchdowns. A week later in the playoffs, when the Cowboys needed to put away the surging Rams, Staubach called on the skinny long shot he vouched for in camp.
Coach Landry sent in the play. Roger called them off. He said, this is what I want to run. And he said, Drew, I want you to run a post pattern down the left side of the field. And the last thing Roger said when we broke the huddle, he says, Drew, I'm going to you all the way. Whoa. I'm standing on the 50-yard line, bam, right between the double A's. The real thrill came later, and all these great Cowboys came down that end zone to congratulate me. Bob Hayes and Rayfield Wright and Roger Staubach. Here I am a year removed from Tulsa University. I made all nothing. Missouri Valley Conference. Now I'm starting and playing and making plays in the playoffs for the Dallas Cowboys. It was a real thrill.
I think that Rams game, everybody started realizing this guy is special, and that game, I think, showed that he had the speed to make big plays.
Mr. Clutch was born, and the nickname went nationwide the next year against Washington.
National TV is Thanksgiving. Everybody's watching TV.
In the third quarter, Staubach was injured and replaced by Clint Longley, an unknown eccentric who'd never taken an NFL snap. Trailing by 6, with 35 seconds left and no timeouts, The Cowboys faced third down at midfield.
I tell Clint, put me on the left side and let me run a turn-in takeoff. You know what he said? Fine, run it. On 2. I got up on Kenny Stone, gave him that juke to the inside like I was going over the middle, and then took it deep. I knew I had an extra gear, and I shifted to that extra gear when I looked back and saw that ball coming. Longley threw the best long pass I caught in my career. All due respect to Roger, Danny, this boy can sling it, okay? He can sling it a mile with accuracy, and I can count the revolutions as it came down. Touchdown Dallas, so we pulled that game out. It got me instant notoriety, and it also continued the growth of becoming Mr. Clutch.
Big plays in desperate situations were now Pearson's hallmark. His most significant clutch catch was yet to come.
In 1974, and became a 20 greatest defense in the NFL.
During Drew Pearson's decades-long wait for enshrinement in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, he often wore his heart on his sleeve. When he finally got in, he commemorated it under his sleeve.
You got some new ink done, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
DT88 HOF.
Love it, man.
But yeah, I made a commitment to the Hall. They made a commitment to me. I made a commitment right back to them.
He showed us his wrist of the tattoos, and I think, like, that was my response. I almost still can't believe it. You
I
probably
still can't believe it
either.
I thought they were fake. I thought they were stickers.
I never had a tattoo. I never thought about a tattoo till one of my former teammates inspired me because he had one. I'm not going to call his name out. I said, I got to get it before the induction. And it does hurt a little bit when you're doing it. And I had to gut it through because I had this one done first. And then he said, you want to come back tomorrow and do the other? I said, oh, no. You know, I'm from Landry School. You know, we can fight through that little pain. And so we came back and did that one.
Before the Cowboys played the Vikings in the 1975 playoffs,
2nd and 10, 32 seconds left.
the term Hail Mary only referred to the Catholic prayer. But after Drew Pearson snatched victory from defeat on this pass from Roger Staubach, the words took on new meaning.
He is going for broke. Drew Pearson. He got it. Touchdown. I don't believe it. He just threw the ball over the scoreboard. I don't believe it.
Roger, we're out here by the Star, you know, the Cowboys facility. How cool did they set this up to commemorate the Hail Mary, you know?
It's unbelievable, really.
You know, those are my actual footprints. This is how my feet were planted when I caught the ball, because it hit my hands and ended up catching it right here.
Yeah, you caught that perfect pass right there.
That perfect pass from you.
I would have never dreamed as a little kid that I'd be standing here with you with the Hail Mary right here.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? A Catholic from Cincinnati, a Baptist from New Jersey.
Let's say the rosary together here.
Yeah, we got the Hail Mary. Let's go.
It's been over 45 years since the Hail Mary.
Okay, here we go.
But this is the first time Pearson and Staubach will watch the game together.
All right, let me fix this pocket hanky. Did you notice that?
Holy calamity, yeah. You did it.
You know I did.
You know I did it.
Yeah.
You saw it.
You know I did it. That's why.
So you
Your arm, my hand.
Oh, wow.
12 to 88, then the date.
Yeah. That's really nice.
Prior to the Cowboys' final possession against the Vikings, Pearson had 0 catches, with the Cowboys trailing by 4 and 151 remaining. Pearson caught 4 passes and gained all 91 yards Dallas needed to complete the drive.
That's the only pass I caught on Bryant.
His most clutch catch may have come 2 snaps before the Hail Mary.
It's all on this play right here. The whole season, 4th down, 17 yards to go for the first down.
So I'm down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
And look at how far Nate is off. So they're letting us off the line easy, and that's what I wanted. Now you go into the post, you bring it back out. Oh, man, not much room there.
That is unbelievable, really. The catch you made on that is...
That throw is unbelievable.
And Pearson made the catch.
But you see that security guard come up? You see that guy? Over here to the right of me on the ground. Okay, here we go. This is the play.
Well, the Cowboys need a miracle. Very similar situation to that in Washington a year ago Thanksgiving. Roger takes the snap, pumps it once. He's going long. Down the near sideline for Drew Pearson. Pearson makes the catch at the 5, touchdown. Pearson goes in for the touchdown, and the Cowboys score. Staubach hit Pearson on a 50-yard touchdown. Would you believe it?
Rod, but did you see this? Look at me before the snap. See that? See that flinch?
Yeah.
They could have called that.
I don't know why you showed that, though. So anyway, looking off Krause was way back there, so
he was
trying
way
to
back.
pump to the left a little bit. Anyway,
He's only all-time interception leader.
Yeah.
But that little hesitation was enough to keep him over there. Now you got to bring it all the way back, and by that time, I'm way downfield. And Nate's got me, man.
Then I intentionally underthrew you. It's nice to be able to see a perfect pass that you caught. And you made it look a little bit harder, though, on your hip. I think if I really did throw a good pass, that you would have had more trouble on it
I
than
think so, Raj.
you making that great catch.
And so when I look back, I could tell it's underthrown. Now I'm trying to see that right arm. I need to get that on the inside. But the other arm, it's not pushing on Nate or anything. I mean, there was contact, nothing deliberate.
There's no interference at all. You hit both hands on it, and he slipped and fell, and you didn't push him.
No, it was contact.
You didn't push off on that at all.
But there's momentum, too, Raj.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And bam.
That is a phenomenal catch.
Right there. You see where that ball is?
Yeah.
My elbow and my hip. Because when I came around, it went through my hands, and I bent over it, bam. I looked at, oh, Lord, I got the ball. Throw it into the end zone, and look at that heave.
So you threw the Hail Mary pass into the stands.
I know. I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
You know, after I did that, I said, oh, no, I can't believe I did that. Because we didn't know it would be as famous as it is now. Yeah, it's been 45 years
But
since
at the end of the day,
so.
you made a great catch.
Amen. And we got the touchdown. We needed it.
And we won the game. Yeah.
There's the man of the day right now. Drew Pearson had caught a pass until the fourth quarter, and then comes back and catches a 50-yard touchdown pass.
Must have been a lot of people praying because it was just a lucky catch.
What I was saying to the media, they asked me, what were you thinking about when you threw the ball? I just said, I closed my eyes and said a Hail Mary. It took off slowly, and now you see it being used even in off football. If you're in a bind or something else, we need a Hail Mary.
Yeah. I didn't know what a Hail Mary was, but I guarantee you, I know what it is now.
Yeah.
Hail Mary, full of grace, Lord be with you. You want me to finish?
Drew's Catholic now.
I'm Catholic. I'll be what I have to be, Raj, to catch a Hail Mary. Amen. Appreciate that.
Well, I'd do anything for you, and it's an honor. You're going into the Hall of Fame, and that's a big reason why we're here. And you had a lot to do with the privilege I had of going into the Hall of Fame. And thank you for all the great things you did for me as a receiver with those lousy passes. You got some real buttes, but thank you for everything. So.
Right on.
Drew cramped a lot, and he threw up a lot.
I used to throw up before every game I played in the NFL.
A lot of games, the first series, we'd have to move the huddle just for Drew.
When I came off the field, the trainer's giving everybody water, Gatorade. The team doctor would be waiting for me with a bottle of Mylanta. We played up there in Cleveland on Monday Night Football.
How did you know? That is it. Drew Pearson inside the 5.
I know that stuff is right here.
Took a shot at Drew Pearson, who appeared to have been taken ill. He sure did. That's a scene you may not see for a long time to come. Probably just as well. Yes.
I'd go to the bench, sit there, put a towel over my head, drink that Mylanta down, throw up the rest of the that I had to throw up, and be ready to go in when the time came to go back out there.
4th and 15.
catch. Fires in there. Drew Pearson has the ball. Good Lord, he's right back in. Does that show you a little courage, though, to go back across the middle again? My hat's off to you, Drew. He's really amazing.
Drew Pearson's Hail Mary catch in 1975 helped Dallas to Super Bowl X. He scored on the Cowboys' opening drive, streaking through the middle of Pittsburgh's vaunted defense.
Down the middle, open man at the 50. He's down the middle, 5. Touchdown, Dallas Cowboys. And Staubach hit Drew Pearson. And Dallas is on the board for the first touchdown.
We lost to the Steelers 21-17 in the Super Bowl, but in the 75 season, we were expected to do nothing. And our offense actually performed very well. And the reason for it was Drew Pearson.
In 1976 and 77, Pearson was named All-Pro. And in 77, he helped the Cowboys win Super Bowl XII.
3, 2, 1. The Cowboys are the champions of professional football.
A year later, Pearson and the Cowboys advanced to a third Super Bowl in 4 years. And though Dallas fell short of a second straight world title, Pearson demonstrated his hallmark toughness.
When I think of Drew Pearson, I just think of that fearless guy who's going to catch every ball that's close to him, no matter what the defense does.
Drew Pearson working on Tony Dungy.
I ended up getting to play a lot in Super Bowl 13. I remember him getting hit 3 or 4 times after catches, and it looked like, well, surely he's going to go out of the game, and he wouldn't.
Who does he go to in the toughest of situations? Drew Pearson.
Somehow he's able to make the play even when everybody knows they're going to him. To me, that's greatness.
By 1980, Pearson became the franchise leader in catches. The Cowboys finished that season as a wild card team and advanced to the divisional playoffs in Atlanta. With captain comeback in retirement, Dallas needed to overcome a 10-point deficit with less than 4 minutes left.
Drew Pearson going left, and Danny White looking, can't find anybody.
I pointed
Pointing, directing traffic.
to try to get Drew to go back to the other corner of the end zone where nobody was, and all the defenders saw me, and a bunch of them started to go that way. The football acumen that he had, Drew stayed where he was. I threw a ball and that was as close to a Hail Mary as you can get.
Touchdown. What a catch by Drew Pearson. Oh, what a catch.
Pearson's touchdown narrowed the gap to 3 points. With 49 seconds left, the Cowboys had a prayer.
Cardinal rules for a quarterback: don't throw into double coverage. Another one is don't make risky passes at the end of a game when you've got a chance to go into overtime. I broke both of those rules in that game because of seeing that 88 down there. Caused me to do something that I would not normally do.
It's a pass to Drew Pearson. He caught it. Touchdown. The Cowboys are out in front with 42 seconds left.
And that was one of those plays that took me to the next level, and it was strictly because it was Drew Pearson running down the field. I don't know how he even knew I had thrown the ball.
You know what it is, Ben? Big game experience. Drew Pearson, a clutch guy, making the catch. What a comeback.
Coming up.
Billy Joe Dupree once said, "Everything Drew touches turns to gold." Before I had my accident.
In the 1981 NFC Championship, Dwight Clark's touchdown catch with under a minute left gave the 49ers a 1-point lead. The Cowboys needed another miracle, and on the very next play from scrimmage, Mr. Clutch almost turned the catch into a footnote.
Pearson wide left. White down the middle, caught by Pearson, and Wright had him by the shirt or he's gone.
I'm thinking this is it. even with my speed, okay, I figured we can get in field goal range, you know. Another 20 yards is all we needed. As soon as I got ready to take that step to turn it upfield, Eric Wright, the cornerback, you know, grabs my jersey and he kind of yanked me down. That would have been Hail Mary number 2. We lost that game and I cried like a baby in the locker room.
The Cowboys lost 3 straight conference title games in the early 80s. But it seemed like Drew Pearson's next history-changing catch was just around the corner.
As far as Drew is concerned, he's yet to reach his peak.
I think I'm still climbing the mountain. I think in 2 years, I think I'll reach a peak, and I don't think I can get any better.
I was on the verge of signing a new contract with the Cowboys. Their offer was $400,000. And in March, I had the accident. I had brought my brother Moose down from Jersey. I wanted Moose to go stay with my brother. I had another brother, Andre, and so I was taking Moose over to Andre's house. I had a few beers, and I wasn't drunk because I knew I had a lot to do once we got back. You know, the exit to jump onto the freeway wasn't that far away from the practice field, so I got on, and next thing you know, I don't know what happened.
This is the car Pearson was driving when the accident occurred at 1:30 a.m.
They ran into a parked semi on LBJ Freeway.
There is evidence of beer in the car, and Pearson had a blood alcohol level of .053. However, that is less than the legal rate for intoxication.
Lights are blaring, glasses all over the place. Moose was laying on my shoulder, and I knew, because he was so limp, he didn't react to anything. You knew in your mind that the call to your family, that your brother was gone. I was in critical condition. I couldn't even go there to Jersey to be at my brother's funeral. I had a hole in my liver the size of a grapefruit. They had to stick 2 tubes in me to drain the blood from the hemorrhaging liver. And to do that, they had to crack my 2 ribs, bones. And they punctured, and pushed until I heard the snap. And I'm full of all these drugs, and it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. Every time they moved me, they turned me, I always see Roger Staubach. I wasn't surprised he was there. It's my quarterback. That's the person he is. Then I'd see Harvey Martin. I wasn't surprised. That's my man. We were roommates. He hurt as bad as I did. He knew Moose. He knew my family. And then the other person I kept seeing was Tom Landry. I had no idea Coach Landry cared for me like that, or any of his players. It was a side of Coach Landry that I saw that 90% of the players that played for him ever got to experience, that he was that kind of person.
When I heard that his brother was killed in the accident, I knew the tremendous impact that would have on Drew and the family.
Every year since 1984, on March 22nd, I'm worthless. I can't go out the house. I can't drive nowhere. I don't want to eat. I just have to feel that day. And it gets to a point where it overflows into other days. And it's a thing about depression, you know? You hear about people experiencing depression. It's such a serious disease that people take it for granted. When somebody tells you depressed, oh, just cheer up, you'll be okay. No, you know, no. It's something rooted in you that causes that depression. I live with it every day. It's the greatest tragedy in my life. I got scars that I can get fixed, But I'm not going to get them fixed because they serve as a reminder to me every day. You see that scar? You know, see how long that is? You see this scar right here? This is where they put the tubes in me. I see that every day. I see this every day. You know? When I see that, what does it do? It humbles me, man. You better go out and make somebody's day today, because God's given you the opportunity to do that. How about them Cowboys? Hot, hot? Oh, man. Yeah, you the man. You the man. Well deserved. You're the man. Thank you. Hey, and you got the right jersey on. You know it. You got the right 88. Right on. People see me out there doing things out front, and I give it all I got when I'm in front of my fans, because I feel like this is what the Lord has left me to do, to help other people make their day. Hey, kids, how's it going, all right? That's what you're here for. You better do it, and you better do it right. Yeah, the Hail Mary, all y'all know about the Hail Mary. You weren't even born.
Coming up, Drew Pearson's long road finally leads to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. After the accident that ended his playing career, Drew Pearson tried his hand at sports broadcasting.
88. Here we are in the last week of training camp, and I finally get a chance to talk to number 88, Michael Irvin. And Michael, how has training camp been going for you so far?
I tell you, it's been going pretty good, Drew. It really have. I mean, I'm working hard.
Wait. It just bothers me to see you in that number 88, man. Get out that jersey. Give me that jersey, man. Give me that jersey. Get it off.
Here.
Get it off, man. I just can't stand to see this anymore. Give me my jersey. Give me my number. They don't even have your name on the back.
You look good anyway, Drew. I tell you, I was sick of the pressure the jersey brought. So you keep the jersey. I'm going to see if I can get my old 47 back from the University of Miami, and we'll play football like that.
It looks better on me anyway.
The smile on Drew Pearson, Coach Drew Pearson now there with Tony Dorsett.
Right.
He also tried coaching. And after wearing many different hats, the fashion lover found his calling making headwear. In the 90s, Pearson's ball cap business became the largest black-owned sporting goods company in the world. But for decades, one thing remained missing from his wardrobe: the gold jacket of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
As each year passed, it, hurt a little bit more and a little bit more.
The Centennial class was created to get a lump sum of guys in at once that are deserving and have been overlooked. So I thought I was one of those guys.
All the media, they said, hey, Drew, we think you're getting in. Can we come? And I've rarely heard him tell anybody no.
And we're sitting right here at this table. Everybody's surrounded, cameras just like y'all got, and people all back there. And we had the champagne all on ice right here. 4 more.
He's sitting at the table, and, he's marking them off as they go through. Dad has an affinity with Sharpies, so he's marking them with his Sharpie. You can kind of feel the energy begin to deflate in the room. I think at this time, Tori and I kind of noticed Dad's frustration.
I get to inform you that you are now a member of the Pro Football.
When I saw that last guy go, then I looked at my phone for the last time and had nothing. I said, that's it.
Please, it was really a true honor.
Oh, God, I didn't get it.
And we're not done. Your special guest including as we have a special guest
Oh, my God.
Even in that moment, being in his own home, not having anywhere to go, I think our hearts shattered.
Yeah, that was...
with him to hear that pain.
You can't do nothing about it. Can't catch no more damn passes. Can't run no more routes. It's there. What I hope they got out of that is to see the anguish that players go through when they are so close, waiting to hear that knock, in their favor, and it doesn't come in their favor. We never see that.
They broke my heart. They broke my heart. And they did it like this. They strung it out like this. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. You have nothing to be sorry.
That was a glaring omission. Drew Pearson was a first-team, all-decade wide receiver. From 1930 through 2010, that's 8 decades, there were 17 first-team, all-decade wide receivers. 16 of them have busts in Canton. Drew Pearson not only was the only guy who didn't have a bust, he was never discussed. He doesn't have 1,000 career catches. He doesn't have 100 career touchdowns. But back then, defenses were allowed to play defense. Because we tend to judge receivers now on their stats, guys like Drew Pearson, they're forgotten. He was a guy who made big plays, big catches. Drew was a great receiver. We've got to address this. No one else is going to address this. We on the senior committee have to address Drew Pearson.
1 year later, one senior nominee out of dozens of names and 15 finalists was voted into the Hall of Fame. Once again, Drew Pearson defied the odds.
I want to welcome you to Canton, Ohio, which will be your home for the rest of time.
God, I've always wanted this, okay, for a long time. And to have Roger here, Mr. Jones, to celebrate or be part of this with me, it couldn't be better. I never thought, after waiting so long, that it would happen.
And now, after going through all that, every time I sit in this chair, I'm a Hall of Famer. And that's what it's all about.
He called and was like, I'm in. And I was almost like, in what? You know, like, it's so unbelievable and so exciting and felt like it was so deserving. And, you know, it's about doggone time all at the same time.
Hall of Famer, Drew
Congrats, man. Thank you.
Love you, baby.
We know what a Hail Mary is. Your back is like against the wall. It looks like all is going to be lost. Come here, buddy. But some way, somehow, you find that whatever it takes to overcome. Well, that's the story of my life.
He's got the scars and the ink. Drew Pearson wears his story on his body.
Hold up.
Now, he wears his legacy, too.